Book learning alone is not enough to cultivate intelligence.
He's already out of sight! How is he so...
Come out and face me, Risley!
Aren't we at an administrative...
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do...
Stop joking around! Where did you take my sibling?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? You knew we were in... As for Fremine... No, you probably didn't even interfere with Child's escape.
There was no need to do so.
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate. Fremine has also fallen into your...
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but...
He's not. What?
Lenny!
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say that eager and to the point, I see. Although, as per your original plan...
Wait, you can't... You locked him outside...
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world.
Fremine's a star diver's...
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us. So we...
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you. Besides, I do recall...
So... You've been keeping tabs.
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two. That's... I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a Mr. Linney, the cards are stacked again. You need do, but...
You want to see Father? But why...
Well, if she cares for the well... I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Heart...
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place...
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to...
You people really are difficult to get along with. Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to invite your...
Lenny!
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found. Mr. Fremine...
I shouldn't ask Father...
6.
Wait,
2. Time's up.
Risley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave.
Yeah, listen to...
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my best to stay out of your way. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small, Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf. I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer question 1. Regarding the hidden rule...
Fonta's internal report. The Fonta promoter has been... I've been told that the infirm... The research note said that the Melusine race perceives the... We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work. The Fonta promoter has been... I've been told that the infirmary is always empty. We often see Miss Siege. The research note said that the Melusine race... The Fonta promoter has been struggling. Fonta's internal report... We often see Miss Siege... According to Collins... I've been told that the
So that's what's the hidden rule of the production zone. People, at first we thought she often visits out of her sense of Sijuin has unfortunately, Melusines as a race perceive the world differently from the recipients of her lovingly. Are we on the right?
All right. Now, there are also some.
Fonta's internal reports suggest that there's... The Fonta promoter has... The research note said... The Fonta promoter has been... Fonta's internal report... We often see Miss C... The research note said that the... According to Collins... I've been told that the infirmary is always... The Fonta promoter has... We often see Miss Sijuin... According to Collins...
ฉันรู้สึกเหนื่อยกับการทำแกคิดว่าฉันนั่งเหรอเรื่องมากไหมไม่
Paimon gets that hidden rule of the pancreation. People can skip, but really, a blood. The company, they came to the Duke, and so.
I acknowledge. Although, based on your description, that Fonta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just reconsider. All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Risley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. The thought of sparing You'll pay for this! Ah!
Lenny, are you alright?
Oh,
It was nothing, Your Grace. Sijuin? Though this gun may look like a toy, it's actually fully...
Lean.
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress, and thus protecting it is when Monsieur Nervulet asked me to come here. He told me that my job would be to take care of the well. But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Linny someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like the rest of us? But I really am just doing what Monsieur Nervulet told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to protect. His Grace knows it too, right?
my dear Sijuin, whatever shall I do with you? What did it...
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes. What are you talking about?
Take me if you want.
How touching.
Don't be like that, you're...
All right, everyone, calm down. 2 more visits. I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Sijuin, I leave Miss Lynette in your...
You...
I believe I hear footsteps.
Some space, please.
Ah, Miss Clarand.
Fremine...
What's going on? What is Clarand doing here?
Work.
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Linney. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take it...
What happened to Fremine? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like...
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must...
What?
Please, make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Fremine...
I'll talk to Clarand while you get Fremine to where he needs to...
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial... Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Let's leave him here for now. Sorry. I am aware that the infirmary may not be...
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater?
Please, look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator.
Where is she? How is...
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should have...
What's that look on your...
Oh, I'm just... How's the situation?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordials... I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay...
Where was he when you...
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the water.
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized...
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack...
Want some tea?
Not particularly.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea.
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a...
Linny, are you okay?
I'll be fine.
Are you sure?
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but...
I'm back, everyone.
Lenny! Oh, Traveler. Fremine?
He'll be fine. But for now...
His breathing's beginning to...
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'll take him from this side.
On it.
Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us? The Duke and Clarande are gone. They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit. Miss Clarande...
สวัสดีจ้า คือจะบอกว่า ทางเพจเนี้ยมันตอบข้อความไม่ได้ คือกดส่งไปแล้วแต่มันก็ขึ้น สีแดงว่ามันส่งไปไม่ได้จริงๆ ไม่รู้ทำไมเหมือนกันอ่ะดิฉันนี่มันไม่มี อ๋อ นี่คือไม่รู้ทำไมเหมือนกัน พอกดเข้าไปดูแชทมาข้อความมันหายนะ นั่นแหละแจ้งไว้ก่อนทางเพจกดเช็คไม่ได้ เดี๋ยวค่อยเปิดกลางๆแล้วกันเนาะ ค่อยเปิดเราจะไม่รีบเปิด เดี๋ยวจำใจไม่ได้ คือรอยเปิดไปแล้ว20 ลูก ก่อนอะไรอ่ะ ก็เหลือ30 กว่านิดหน่อย ก็จะเป็น50
He's awake.
We're all here.
The infirmary
30 ลูกแบบแกล้ง
The sea. There's something wrong with the
ตอนนี้ตื่น
seawater.
สายไปหน่อยเรามาใส่ไม่เป็นไร ขอให้เธอพักผ่อนเพียงพอแต่ก็มาให้เธอพักผ่อนเพียงพอแล้วเธอมาโอเค
It's all coming back to me now.
โอเคทางนั้นหรอเท่เลยหรอเดี๋ยวนะ
Where could Master Child be?
คืออยากเควสเรื่องเทพเจ้านี้เร็วที่สุดอะ ใหญ่หรอมีอะไรไหม
This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it?
อ๋อเหมือนเรื่องอะไรเดี๋ยวคิดว่าต้องกระโดดอะไรทันแล้วก็หมุนอันนู้น
It's getting stuck on something.
อะไร
Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it.
กระโดดได้ไหมมันเหมือนตั้งแต่ข้างล่างเลยปะ โอเค โอเค ลองแฟนทอมแล้วกันนะจ๊ะ ลองแฟนทอมนะจ๊ะ ผิดที่เหรอว่าผิดที่ตรงไหนอะข้างล่างอ๋อยังไงอะโดดลงไปเลยแล้วกันในเมื่อเราอยู่ข้างบนแล้วก็เปิดลงไปเลยแล้วกันโอ้ยเธอ
This is where the water starts.
อ๋อตกใจคิดว่าจะใส่หมวกซะอีก
The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces
อ๋อ
aren't
ไม่รู้
natural.
สิคะดิ
Person
ฉันไม่
must
ได้
have
เซี
left
ยน
them, and recently. There are traces here too. I need to keep going.
อ๋อจะพูดไม่ได้เหรอพูดแล้วไปหน้า
Traces
ไม่
are
ได้
gone, but I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait, what the? My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's... No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it.
แล้วมันจะเร็วขึ้นปะ
I can't die here. This... I have to push on.
อ่าฮะ
So, in other words, the
Oh,
trail you were
okay.
following vanished, and you had no idea where Master Child could have gone. but there was also no obvious place for him to have
หนูเป็น
disappeared
หมาดำมี
to.
ปีก
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fortress.
Miss Clarence!
Miss Clorand, you say?
You're still too weak.
Miss Lynette is...
A guest? Then
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me.
Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on.
no, please go on without
Lenny.
the logical part of
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you.
Thank you.
จบเลยไหมจะได้ปะอ่ะยังไม่จบอย่างสงบสุดอีกหรอ ยังไม่จบแบบสงบสุขอีกหรอแกจะสงบสุขเลยนะ เทนชายา
Excuse me.
ขอโทษนะ
I take it Mr. Fremonet's condition.
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary.
I've been expecting those two, but might I...
I wanted to check up on Miss Cloran.
Mostly fine.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another...
All right?
Well, want to...
Of course. But I'm not partial to the word choice. Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions? No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their...
You managed to monitor and stay ahead...
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals. Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape. But in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbingers. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured I might as well...
So you were hoping Lynn...
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped in. Why would you put it...
Oh,
Me? As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get...
and saving Fremen...
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is... That's not something you should be asking after. All I need to prove...
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you...
You make a compelling case. Do you really...
Yeah, Paimon...
Even if the truth may not be pleasant? Follow me.
คุณไปที่ไหนหนูก็ตามค่ะ เอาตรงนี้เหรอ ว้าว
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh.
ใช่
You're pretty good at hiding stuff, right?
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of...
ไหนดูสิสามีฉันแบกอะไรมา มีแบบนี้หลายคนนะคะ
Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa! So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special. What a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name Forbidden Zone. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friends everything?
Well, Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping anything from them.
Well, I... Stand back.
Whoa! They all just went up one by...
Go on. I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any... The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happen to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Very reasonable guess. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the... Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with... Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial seawater got mixed in, and the concentration is steadily Yes.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Novelette. Oh.
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater level, the indicators are now red. Although, if this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in this...
But that's just too weird! Why would...
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast... It's just that the secret of the forbidden... There's no single founder of... When the previous Hydro Archon, Egeria, ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle. Some of them began to repent, and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them, and said... And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles, the Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress, once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their... After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason. Now and again, researchers...
But now you know every part of that.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, to be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped this prophecy. Prophecies are troublesome things. Let's go somewhere else. This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone.
Huh?
No need to panic, you two.
What? After you
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure?
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two...
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
How about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the... Good. Say, Edwin's main areas of research were archaea...
You want to blow up?
Ah, what a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my...
Gotta admit,
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical...
Ooh, are they together?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just you...
Your Grace!
If I dated her, I'd have...
Jeez. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do...
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What a huge... This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen.
How much do you know about Fontania? Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the Sierra Sibila. He called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on...
There's a ship in this...
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always...
Do you believe that?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor material, so the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath...
Were you inspired by the legend?
Maybe. Fontanians need something to hold on to, or the workers to find out the truth behind this ship. Riots would destroy the fort. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never... Alright, that's enough talking for... Seems like you're good. I'll leave you here for...
Oh!
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want...
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into...
Great.
We're back!
Welcome back.
How can you be...
Huh. While I was sedate...
Must have been right.
Yeah.
I really...
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to...
Yeah, he explained it.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my... Yeah, I took...
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sijuin is also busy.
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself, firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, the...
Whoa!
That's our Lenny.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was... What's more, the Fortress of Meripede is not part of Fontaine's court system. As long as the fortress doesn't... If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on.
You're super...
If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? I don't have...
I can't believe it.
The sea will engulf everyone.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with... If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Heart...
Or perhaps he didn't know, and just wanted to bring Father over...
Yeah, that makes sense to me. The two of you have already aided us. If you ever need anything else going forward, please... Though you may not share the sentiment, after all...
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Lenny when it
why are you being so formal all of a sudden? Paimon's hungry.
Oh,
Alright, then we'll... Come on, let's go pick up ours as well. Traveler and Paimon, over here. Are you here for dinner too, And I'm taking the opportunity. Huh. What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like. Me too, no problem. So delicious.
อ้าวอาจารย์เค อาจารย์เคมาแล้วเหรอ อ๋อน่าจะมีตัวอุ้ยโอเค มันก็ฟรีอยู่แล้วตั้งสุดยอด
I'm so happy. Feeling full yet? How's the delicious?
อันใหญ่มากขอบคุณตรงนี้ไป เป็นวันจันทร์
Bit of both, I suppose. And
อยาก
the
กินชานม
which
นะ
means I'm very different from human beings. I must know
เรา
what
ไป
you're
ไกลได้สุด
thinking
แค่
if
ห
I
น้า
want
ปาก
to
ซอย
take good. You're really good at taking. Really? Oh, and what? Oh, that. Thankfully, although the path. Oh, and I was. You were all so. Oh. Get a good night's.
ลูกในเกมซอมบี้ทรมานใจตัวเองว่ะ พูดจริงทรมานใจตัวเองอ่ะ เกมซอมบี้ระหว่างโค้งกับลัดแบบนี้ได้เร็วกว่า
I'm on super. Delicious.
Out of my way! Get out of what happened! No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
There's no time to explain, mate. Goodbye!
Hey, wait! What's wrong with these people?
They're here! Yeah! There you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Lavaroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone. Lavaroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed. And you only find out once you do a head count that one or two people are missing.
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly my...
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible.
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey!
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey, hey! Be careful!
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards. Up. Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards. Upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
They're here.
Just like I said.
What happened?
You're just in time. But be ready to run.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Neuvillette, why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to... Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You will do.
you two the traveler in Paimon? Though I'm sure he's already explained the
Oh, so you two are the honored guests, Miss...
Of course, of course!
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler.
I've already prepared seats for you.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get to see this. This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only...
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. I wonder how he's doing nowadays.
Since...
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Against ordinary people might call...
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but... Oh.
Because...
And where did he go?
Well?
The fortress of Meripede lies... Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a... Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya.
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as...
Hold on.
I suppose this is also a...
Huh? I don't quite...
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess. We're safe.
Indeed.
I win this bet.
Very well. It was indeed.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought...
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearances.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now?
So what gift must the loser give?
He already has tons of tea in his office.
It wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness.
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the...
I was under the impression the residents of a place like...
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business.
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the...
ยุ่งยิ่งหนูอยากจะตีเด็กดี
I must say, Miss Farina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact...
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now. Yet, here you are, relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all... The prophecies hanging above our... But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of fun... Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are...
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now,
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on?
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself.
I see. As a god, allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be Oh, that...
The emergency response plan.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose, and what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that...
The oratories? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the orchard. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly... Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Nouvellette is not...
Yeah, yes, that's exactly...
Of course I will. Although, I must... Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? You too, Paimon.
Thank you.
Oh, Paimon.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest...
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table. And I was merely catered... it is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so...
แกฉันลืมบทไป เสียจ้าเสียไม่เป็นวันสุดท้ายก็พอแต่ยังมีเวลา
We could use the opportunity to discuss child before I must be on my way.
บ๊ายบายจ้า
Paimon's coming too.
อันไหนต่อ โอ้เอ๊ะข้างบนมีจุดชมวิวด้วยเหรอพ่อไม่เต็มแล้วกัน มันไม่ได้ใช้อะเนาะก็เลยไม่อยากไม่เพิ่มดีกว่าเนาะ
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
That's what Paimon thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth, as their father. That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal setting. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against—
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit— You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the fortress of Meripede.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an upper. I will be meeting someone short.
Do you require help with any preparation?
No need. I will take— I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farine. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But it's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's a—
Who are you? And what are you trying to do?
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost— I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farine— Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. She was so— There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true— I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he—
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please—
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing.
Probably the handiwork of—
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. Set up a meeting for me. Oh, and I have an additional mission.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make the initiative belong. You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have— It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even— I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require— It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? Ultimately, though, one must survive. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must
Neuvillette?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur. Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the Primordial Sea and reseal the sluice gate. So as expected, permission granted.
Whoa. You...
If by the phrase, you guide, I believe so. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I more...
Huh?
You may be closer to the...
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... Huh?
Please do not be... My apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not
You guessed correctly. I
right. There's...
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back the primordial sea, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't...
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world. Myself, they say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the big...
There are 7 elemental archons and 7...
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know in any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the archon disappears and returns. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding an...
Oh, so even you...
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that We'll see you another time.
Take care.
Jurier?
Yeah.
That's no excuse for... Huh?
Jurier! Lurvine! We're back!
Hello there. It's been quite...
And you?
Yep.
It can be a bit...
I mean, the
Oh, yeah?
You two really are just using...
Not at all!
You guys are back?
You guys didn't get caught and thrown back down here, right?
And here I...
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details.
Hey, it wasn't just me. Weren't you?
Something like that, yeah. I was also transferred to work whenever he'd say...
Hey, there...
These two. They sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when Paimon first met.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to make sure you finish every last bite.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Monsieur Nervillette, I ran into the bomb. If you're not, just let me know if you get a crate. I'd like to take the opportunity.
Now guess.
Well, well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Looks like you're recovering nicely.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to everyone's support. Oh, right.
Whoa, how did she react?
She didn't want to stress you out.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out.
You meant father?
She said a few things that were...
Her attitude towards you is even better. You should believe her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Paimon...
Hey!
Are you going to...
Looks like it.
Excellent.
For real? Then
Another implied... Well, next...
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see?
We wanted to see how the fortress...
We're fine, for the most part.
If that's the case, why don't you...
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. He came here in a hurry and left.
He sure sounds...
Miss Cloran has left as well.
Were the gifts...
Nervillette got the milkshake. Cloran... Well, it's Nervillette's own fault for making Sigewinne worried about his health. Oh, and I have some...
Are these from...
Nope, they're from your... You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress.
For real? Then we could stay here for...
You may access the cafeteria. Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
We're back in our cell again. Sure feels... Huh? How did you know? Hey! It's like, there are so many bad things in the world. You're counting Paimon today? Then let's ask... the last time... We should be safe. Alright then. Good night to you, traveler.
นี่ในที่สุดก็จบ แบบในที่สุดหล่อนก็จบนะไม่เห็นไม่เคยดูแฮะมันรับกับอะไรอ่ะอ๋อ
Mantis.
เฮ้ยโฆษณาในวันอาทิตย์ แกมันขาดอีก4%หาไม่เจอเควสอีกอันหนึ่งหายากมากปวดท้องเลย
Everyone hold hands. By royal
Here you are.
คือมองไม่เห็นเลยตัว
Defract.
ตีได้ปะ
Hey! Odds reveal by
Don't let any of it roll away now.
ไอ้ปวดท้อง ความเสียหายมารายผล อันนี้ยังไม่ได้มันอยู่ข้างใต้ ความเสียหายไม้ไร้ผล นี่ไปทางนี้ มันอยู่ข้างใต้จะหาไม่เจอ
Can't catch me.
Stabilize.
Into the wind.
Attaboy.
Gather. One with nature.
Hello, free money. Goodbye, working for a living.
Can't catch me.
Stabilize.
everybody stand.
As one with wind and cloud. Into the wind.
This is order.
It's showtime. Attaboy.
อ๋อไม่ได้เลย ตาฟรีใครจะไม่เอา ไปยังไงอันนี้เหมือนกันตกเจ็บด้วยFor the boys. แม่ไปตรงนั้นเนาะที่นี่ความเสียไฟจะไร้ผลหลังการเกิดการทำลายระหว่างมันคืออันไหนโอเคเข่าหรอ
Stabilize.
Make yourselves at home.
เขาเรียกว่าไฟ
By royal decree.
The process of elimination.
Gather. Midnight Phantasmagoria.
ไม่ได้อะไรเลยน่าจะมีลมใช่แม่ตั้งใจ จะรู้ยังไงอ่ะจนถามแบบนี้แล้วจะวางยังไงจะวางยังไงอ่ะ ว่าการหันเรือแมวกลางพุ่งดอกไม้อ๋อหยิบอ๋อหยิบ
Cry out my illustrious name.
อย่างเยอะ2 อันเหรอกุญแจครับต้องปลดให้ใช่ไหมแล้วมันก็เต็มไปหมดแล้วมันก็เต็มไปหมดอ่ะแกดูมันเต็มไปหมดอ่ะ ฮะคนแล้วคนนั้นไปยังคนชิดเกียดจะเป็นนี้ก่อนสิ
Paimon has so many questions about his true identity. Let's go talk to him and find out.
เร็วไม่ล่ะเร็วคำขอชาวเมืองไปยังเควสเธอคิดว่าจะจำได้ไหมพอนี่อยู่ข้างล่างเหรอน้ำอย่างดังแต่สิ่งที่มีก็โอเค
find anything you like? I see everything. Everyone hold hands. Hey.
Ooh. ไม่พอเหรอ ค่อยๆ ค่อยๆ อะ ที่แบบนี้ไม่ขึ้นละดอกทองอ้าวเกมเป็นอะไรอ่ะเดี๋ยวสองออกเดี๋ยวสองขึ้นเป็นยังไงเนี่ยรำคาญจังเดี๋ยวสองขึ้นบ้างเดี๋ยวสามบ้างไปเร็วๆ
Here you go.
ช่างยากดินแสนเข็ญ
Here you go. Yep.
พอปะ น้ำของเธออีกแล้วหรอวางไม่ถึง
Quake!
จุดใจปะล่ะอ่ะแล้วจะให้เหนื่อยเพื่อแกดูตรงนั้นเห็นปะ ฉันน่าก็สายตาดีๆอ่ะมีอันนี้อยู่เว้ยแกดูจบปะข้างละอ๋อเยี่ยมสวยงามไหมล่ะแกดูโอ้ยจะปวดบื้นยงนนแล้วก็กรึงไม่มีอย่างอื่นใช่ไหมมันเราแปลว่าเจมไม่ได้อะ34 ลูกก็ได้หมดเลยอะไรที่ท่านดูสีม่วงไม่น่าออกนะสีม่วงขาดอีก4 ลูกเองอะ ค่อยมาสุ่มแล้วกันใช่ค่อยมาสุ่มบึ้นบึ้นบึ้นบึ้นบึ้นบึ้นบึ้นบึ้นบึ้นบึ้นบึ้นบึ้นบึ้นบึ้นบึ้นบึ้น เราก็มีนี่กุญแจเราก็มีนี่จะตกใจหลายรอบเลยนะอุ้ยนี่อ่อนอะดูสิแกมแบบเบเกอรี่เปอร์เมื่อกี้ฉันเห็นอะไรแถวๆนี้นะ นี่เมื่อกี้ฉันนั้นไปแล้วอ่ะอันนี้แล้วกันมาเอาเป็นสั้นๆง่ายๆกันจะดีกว่าเนาะอันนี้ก็ขอบคุณทุกคนที่จะเจอมาถึงตอนนี้ถึงยังท่านดูแกยังไม่ออก เดี๋ยวก็ฝันดีราตรีสวัสดิ์จ้าบ๊ายบายแล้วเจอกันใหม่เมื่อเราได้ของในท่านดุมาลาบ๊ายบาย